Okay, we're going to get this public hearing started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 6:01 p.m. on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. This virtual public hearing is now considered open. My name is Brendan Davey, and I am the Regional Supervisor for the North Carolina Division of Air Quality's Asheville Regional Office. I've been appointed to be the hearing officer for this public hearing by the Director of the Division of Air Quality, Mike Abrazinskis. The purpose this evening is to receive your comments, either written or oral, for consideration the issuance of a new air quality permit to Duke Energy Progress, LLC, Mayo Electric Generating Plant, for the closure of the ash basin and the excavation, handling, and transport of the coal ash to a new lined landfill located on site. The proposed location the proposed location is 10660 Boston Road, Roxborough, North Carolina. The focus of this hearing, and the only focus, is to receive public comments on the proposed air quality permit as they relate to the applicability of air quality regulations. The Division of Air Quality is conducting this public hearing digitally to allow for public participation while protecting public health under current guidance to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The public hearing announcement was published in the Roxborough Courier-Times on March 11, 2021, and on the Division of Air Quality's website on March 8, 2021. The public comment period closes April 15, 2021. During this virtual public hearing, you'll be receiving oral comments from those individuals who pre-registered to speak at this event. If you are having technical difficulties with WebEx, you can use the chat features in WebEx to ask questions or seek assistance. You can also visit the Division of Air Quality's website using the link in the public notice for this hearing for instructions on various ways to connect to WebEx. I would like to thank everybody for their attendance and interest in this virtual public hearing tonight. The North Carolina Coal Ash Management Act requires environmental permits related to coal ash be subject to public participation. As such, we are holding this public hearing to receive pertinent public comments on whether to allow or deny issuance of an air permit to Duke Energy Progress for the previously mentioned proposed coal ash lined landfill and associated ash excavation and handling activities. The comment period for this permit opened on March 11, 2021, and will close on April 15th at 5 p.m. In addition to your oral comments tonight, the division is also accepting comments via mail, electronic mail, and by phone to a voicemail box. The email address and phone number for the voicemail is displayed on your screen. Copies of the permit application, the air permit application review, the draft air permit, and other information concerning the Duke Energy Progress application are available to the public at the following two locations. First, the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality Raleigh Regional Office, located at 3800 Barrett Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina. Secondly, the Division of Air Quality Central Office, Permit Section, located at 217 West Jones Street in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you haven't done so and wish to review these materials in person, they are available to you during normal business hours at the locations I just mentioned. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, an appointment is required. Please call in advance to make an appointment. A copy of the draft air permit and the permit application review are also available on the Division of Air Quality's website at www.ncair.org in the section titled Public Engagement. The order of events for this hearing are as follows. First, Ed Martin, our Raleigh Central Office engineer, who reviewed the permit application and wrote the draft permit, will discuss the application, the air quality permit, and the air permitting procedures. This will be followed by the public comment period. We will receive oral comments from those individuals who pre-registered to speak at this event. This will allow us to have an accurate hearing record. Only those who have pre-registered will be called on to speak, but if we have extra time, we will invite additional comment. To provide enough time for public comments, this meeting will be conducted in the following manner. All efforts will be made to call speakers in the same order of your registrations. Oral statements will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes in order to hear as many citizens as possible. This public hearing is scheduled to adjourn no later than 9 p.m. tonight. We will call the names of each pre-registered speakers in order, and our WebEx host will unmute the speaker when it is their turn to speak. We will also announce the name of the next speaker in the queue so they can prepare to provide comments. Please do not start speaking until the WebEx host has indicated you are able to unmute your microphone. Your time will begin when you have unmuted your microphone. We will keep track of your time and will announce when you have 5 minutes expired. Please respect the time of all those who wish to present oral comments tonight by adhering to the time limits and closing your remarks as quickly as possible once time is up. Cross-examination of the person presenting comments, or me, the hearing officer, will not be allowed. However, as the hearing officer, I may ask questions to the presenter for clarification. Questions directed to the Division of Air Quality staff members will not be answered to this hearing. If you have questions for DAQ staff, we can provide you with our contact information so you may contact them after the meeting during normal office hours. After receiving comments this evening, the hearing record will be closed. However, the period for submitting comments does not close until Thursday, April 15th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Again, the only focus of this virtual public hearing is the presentation of comments related to air quality issues associated with the new air quality permit for the Duke Energy Progress Facility and the applicability of air quality regulations. Only relevant air quality comments can be considered in my final recommendations to our division director. I will now call on Ed Martin, permitting engineer of the Division of Air Quality, Raleigh Central Office, to discuss air permitting procedures and the permit application review. Ed, are you there and ready to go?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Thanks, Brendan. Good evening. In order to comply with the North Carolina Coal Ash Management Act of 2014 and the Mayo Steam Station Department of Environmental Quality Coal Combustion Residuals Surface Impoundment Closure Determination of April 1, 2019, mandating closure of the existing ash basin via excavation, Duke Energy plans to dewater and excavate material from the ash basin. There are 3 on-site ash storage locations involved in this project. The existing ash basin, about a quarter mile north of the boilers. The existing monofill, located approximately 2 miles west of the boilers, and a new closure landfill to be constructed near the existing ash basin. Historically, ash generated from coal combustion from the 2 coal-fired electric generating boilers was sluiced and sent to the ash basin. Several years ago, wet ash handling was converted to dry ash handling, and the ash is currently collected and deposited in the monofill. The excavated material from the existing ash basin will be deposited in the new lined closure landfill. Duke will eventually cease placement of generated ash in the existing monofill and begin depositing those materials in the new closure landfill once constructed. Construction of the new closure landfill is currently scheduled to begin in the spring of 2021. Excavation of the ash basin and initiation of closure of the existing monofill is scheduled to begin in the first quarter of 2023. Excavation of ash from the ash basin will continue through 2028. Increased fugitive particulate, lead, and toxic emissions from the project result from vehicle traffic on the haul roads to the various on-site locations, from material handling for loading and unloading ash, and due to wind erosion of ash piles at the ash basin, monofill, and closure landfill. In addition, a small generator, 375 kilowatts, will be added as an insignificant source for emergency power at the new closure landfill, to be operated less than 500 hours per year, emitting insignificant amounts of various pollutants. With this modification, all facility-wide air toxic pollutants emitted have been shown by air dispersion modeling to be less than 25% of the acceptable ambient level concentrations beyond the facility's premises. This is the first step of a significant permit modification. Duke must file a Title V air quality permit application for these changes within 12 months after the first excavation of ash from the ash basin or the first placement of generated ash in the new closure landfill, at which time the changes will go through the second step of the Title V permitting process. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. At this time, we will hear from those who were pre-registered to provide oral comments this evening. I'd like to check with Rahat Ashik to see if there were any last-minute registrations.
Not that I know of, Brent.
Okay, so at this time, we will move on to beyond the registered speakers. We have remaining time for those who didn't have the opportunity to register. So at this time, if you would like to speak, please raise your hand in WebEx or press *3 on your phone so that we can allow you to be unmuted and provide your comments. Please announce your name clearly at the beginning of your comments. Once you have provided your comments, please lower your hand or again press *3. So we will allow a moment to folks to either press *3 on their phone or raise their hand to be allowed to be unmuted and provide comments at this public hearing. Do we have any activity out there, Rahat?
No, we do not.
Okay, I think we will go ahead and give this another minute. Give people opportunity. If you are having trouble on WebEx, feel free to use the chat function to type to us that you would like to make public comments. But otherwise, the main procedure is to hit *3 on your phone or raise your hand in WebEx. Feel free to use the chat function, and we will give this another minute to see if there's anybody who would like to make public comments. I believe that was about a minute. I will do some closing comments and check one more time to see if anybody would like to make public comments. If you did not speak tonight, which we have not received any speakers, but still want to provide comments on the issuance of an air quality permit to Duke Energy Progress, remember there are several other ways to provide comments until the end of the public comment period on April 15th, 2021 at 5 p.m. You can call 919-707-8714 and leave a voicemail message with your first and last name, whom you are representing, and state that your comments are related to Duke Energy Progress, Mayo Ash Basin closure. You can provide written comments until the comment period ends on April 15th, 2021. To provide written comments, please email them to daq.publiccomments@ncdnr.gov with Duke Mayo Ash Basin closure in the subject line. And this is all on your screen at this time as well. You can also mail written comments to the address listed in the public notice. Based on the information received tonight, during tonight's hearing and comments received throughout the comment period, I will make a recommendation to the Director of the Division of Air Quality for his consideration in making a final decision on whether to issue the air quality permit to Duke Energy Progress Mayo facility. All right, Rahat, I'm going to do one final check here for any public comments or anybody raising their hand, any chat, any interest in a oral comments from any of our attendees. Do you see anything? And you are muted, Rahat.
I do not see anything. It's time.
Okay, I'm going to consult with the Deputy Director. And have we done enough time on the public hearing and enable us to close it?
Yes, sir, I believe so. We've got avenues for accepting comments, as you indicated. It's open through April 15th. So if nobody else at this time would like to provide a comment, then it's up to you to close the hearing.
Okay, I believe we've given ample opportunity for oral comments, and there's definitely the avenues for written email comments. So I thank you for your cooperation, attendance, and interest in the air quality permitting process. This public hearing is now adjourned. Thank you very much.